The summer of 1976 didn't just arrive, it invaded. Day by day, relentless heat transformed Britain's green into brittle yellow-brown. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of hot tarmac and melting ice lollies. Lawnmowers fell silent, replaced by the drone of electric fans and the jingle of ice cream vans. Windows stayed open, radios blared, and the country waited for rain that never came. The light was harsh, bleaching colour from everything, turning car windscreens into blinding mirrors. At night, bedrooms became ovens. Sleep was a battle against sweaty sheets. People dragged mattresses outside, desperate for a breeze. This wasn't just a heat wave, it was a shift in the rhythm of British life. The heat dictated what we wore, what we ate, and how we felt. The summer of '76 became a collective memory, a benchmark for every heatwave since. It was the summer the sun refused to leave, and it changed Britain forever. Why did Britain suddenly feel like the Sahara? The answer was high above us. A stubborn high-pressure system, an anticyclone, parked over the UK, blocking clouds and rain. Months of dry weather left the ground parched. No moisture to cool the air, just sun baking the earth. The jet stream shifted north, steering rain away and locking Britain in a feedback loop of heat. Meteorologists watched in disbelief as the pattern refused to budge. Every forecast, hot, dry, sunny. The sun became a tyrant. For weeks, the weather was stuck on repeat. The rest of Northern Europe suffered too, but for Britain, it was a shock to the system. The science was clear, but to those living it, it felt biblical. There was no escape from the sun's grip. The numbers still shock. 15 days above 32 degrees, Cheltenham hitting nearly 36. Nights stayed hot, offering no relief. Rivers shrank, trees shed leaves early, and the countryside turned brown. Fires raged in Dorset and Surrey. Firefighters battled blazes with dwindling water. Roads melted, tar stuck to shoes, and railway lines buckled. Hospitals filled with heatstroke cases. The London Underground became unbearable. Office workers ditched jackets, productivity slumped, and the government considered a 3-day workweek to save power. The heat warped daily life, exposing the nation's limits. Britain was literally and figuratively on fire. The sun dictated everything, and the country struggled to keep up. It was a test of endurance, and the heat kept coming. As the heat dragged on, a new crisis hit. Britain was running out of water. Reservoirs emptied, rivers slowed to a crawl, and old villages reappeared from the receding waters. The government appointed a minister for drought and imposed hosepipe bans. Slogans like "Save water, bath with a friend" became national jokes. People collected bathwater for plants, put bricks in toilet cisterns and rationed every drop. In the hardest hit areas, taps ran dry and standpipes appeared in the streets. Queuing for water became a daily ritual, bringing communities together and highlighting the fragility of modern life. The drought exposed a vulnerability Britain hadn't felt in decades. Even the drought minister joked about a national rain dance. The great thirst of '76 was humbling. It taught the nation just how precious water really is. As if the heat and drought weren't enough, Britain faced a plague of ladybirds. Perfect breeding conditions for aphids led to a ladybird explosion. Swarms covered beaches, buildings and people. Sunbathers were nipped, ice creams dotted with insects, and the air buzzed with their rustling. The media dubbed it the ladybird invasion. Scientists explained the swarms. The ladybirds had eaten all the aphids inland and were searching for food and moisture. Many washed up along the coast in thick red lines. It was surreal, a bizarre footnote to an already extraordinary summer. The ladybird plague became one of the most unforgettable images of '76. Britons did what they do best. They muddled through. For children, it was a summer of freedom. Schools closed early, days spent outdoors, evenings that seemed endless. At first, the mood was festive. Parks and beaches packed, ice cream vans thriving, sunbathing a national pastime. But as the heat dragged on, tempers frayed and exhaustion set in. People slept outside, sought refuge in cinemas, and wore as little as possible. For those working in uniforms or heavy industry, it was misery. The heatwave exposed class divides. Some enjoyed the sun, others suffered through it. Routines changed, and a slower pace of life took over. Queuing for water, sharing cold drinks and finding shade became communal rituals. The summer tested everyone's limits, but also created a sense of shared struggle. Life in the melting pot was tough, but unforgettable. It was a chapter of resilience and adaptation, and it left its mark on the nation's memory. Just as it seemed the drought would never end, the weather broke spectacularly. At the end of August, the high-pressure system finally moved and Atlantic storms swept in. The rain came as a deluge, not a gentle drizzle. Hardened ground couldn't absorb it. Flash floods followed. Roads and homes were submerged. Emergency services scrambled. After months of praying for rain, Britain suddenly had too much. The drought minister became the minister for floods. The storms marked the end of the great heat wave. The landscape slowly recovered, and the crisis faded. The long, hot summer was washed away in dramatic fashion. The summer of '76 changed Britain. The drought exposed the fragility of the water system, leading to new laws and the creation of a national water grid. Water conservation became part of the culture. No one took a running tap for granted again. The experience sparked environmental awareness, long before climate change was a household term. '76 became the benchmark for every heatwave since. Memories of cracked reservoirs, ladybird swarms, and standpipe queues lingered. It was a shared national experience, uniting people across class and politics. For some, it's a golden memory. For others, a time of anxiety and crisis. The dual legacy, nostalgia and warning, makes '76 unforgettable. Its lessons are written in both law and memory. Looking back from today, the summer of '76 feels both distant and prophetic. What was once a freak event now looks like a preview of our warming future. Record-breaking heat, drought and floods are becoming the new normal. The challenges of '76, water shortages, health risks, strained infrastructure, are even more urgent now. The lessons learned then are more relevant than ever. '76 is a nostalgic story, but also a warning. It showed our vulnerabilities and tested our resilience. The real question: are we ready for the next long, hot summer?